Hello friends, welcome back to Ray's Create Cards. I'm Ray Henderson, a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Morristown, Tennessee. Hope everybody's been having a great week. We have got sunshine today and I'm enjoying it while we can have it because I think the rain may be moving back in, not real sure. Depends on where you get your weather forecast. Alright guys, so I finally was able to play with Flowers of Beauty. Let me show you the stamp set and the Flowers of Beauty dies. Today we're not going to be using the stamp set. We're just going to be using the dies, and I've already pre-cut pretty much everything I need, okay? And we are going to be using the bundle of Unbounded Love, and these will be available to you very soon to pre-order. So here's the Unbounded Love, and then here is the die set. So I'm going to be using those. And the card that I designed and the way I intend to use it, I'm also bringing in from Divinity Designs. And of course you can't see through that plastic. This is a set, and I'm not sure if it's still available. It's called Love Scriptures, and the one that I am going to use on the inside of the card today is I Found the One Whom My Soul Loves, Song of Songs. And I'm trying to think, okay, this one I did finish the inside of. And so there is that, and that was using that Petunia Pop, which is a new in color. I'm going to make a few little changes. This was using the Shy Shamrock ink. Is it Shy Shamrock? No, I'm sorry, I lied. Summer Splash. I had so much fun playing with the dies to see what they would do, not only in the Flowers of Beauty, but also in the Unbounded Love, and I discovered a few things that I want to share with you in the course of this video. So, like I said, we're going to be changing a few things up. Now, I decided I didn't like that green right there. So, off camera, before I give this card, I'm actually going to die cut and heat emboss the sentiment, and this time I'm going to use Berry Burst, and we're going to use Berry Burst on today's card as well. And then stay tuned, because at the end of the video I'm going to show you another example of how you can change up this layout a little bit if tearing paper is not your thing, if it scares you to do it, you know, you don't want to mess up a piece of designer series paper. I get you. I did put some Wink of Stella here on the Petunia Pop. You can see it real easy in real life, but not so much, I'm sure, in the camera. I have no idea if any of that is coming through to you or not. But this is what you're going to need. Now, I cut my card base at 4 1/4 by 11, and then scored it at 5 1/2. If you don't like the tent fold card, which I do, because your recipient can then prop it up so much easier than the traditional 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, okay? So that was what I elected to go with for today's card, and I'm using the basic white. For the inside, I cut a layer of Petunia Pop that is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And then on top of that, I'm doing the basic white in 4 by 5 1/4. And I don't want that to get buried, because we're going to have to stamp our sentiment on the inside. Now, you'll need 2 coordinating pieces of designer series paper. And the one I'm using that you will be able to order here very soon is the Unbounded Beauty 12 by 12. Beautiful patterns in here. I am sure that other demonstrators have been busy out there showing all of this beautiful paper, the beautiful patterns, and I actually had a very hard time picking 2 coordinating patterns to use on today's card. I also brought in the new in colors. So this is the Petunia Pop cardstock, the Summer Splash cardstock, and I don't know why I said Shy Shamrock earlier. I did not use Shy Shamrock. It is a more green, where the Summer Splash has a little bit more of a blue tint. And I will tell you, if you haven't figured it out by now, Coastal Cabana also went really well with this, but I chose to go with the Summer Splash because it was a little bit deeper and darker, showed up a little bit better on the card. And then I brought in Bubble Bath instead of the Petunia. Instead of the Berry Burst, I decided I would put that light pink in there because I felt like it kind of really helped to bring out some of the colors in that Designer Series paper. It is not listed on the back of the Designer Series paper as a coordinating color. Berry Burst, Calypso Coral, Peach Pie, Petunia Pop, Pretty in Pink, Pretty Peacock, Shy Shamrock, and Summer Splash. I just felt like the Bubble Bath maybe was represented as well in this Designer Series paper. Either way you go, you make your card for you. You can do it any way you want to. So your two pieces, you're going to want one that is 4 by 5 1/4. And then you want another one that is simply 4 by 4. And this is a piece that we are going to tear. So at this point, you could obviously pause the video and go gather up your supplies using what you have and whatever stamp set you want to use. And we're just going to, oh, isn't that pretty? I love that peach pie. That is so, so pretty. And there are bits and pieces of peach pie in this pattern. It's very faint. There's not just a whole lot showing, so I decided not to try to bring peach pie into the die cuts on the outside of the card. And I'll be showing you a little bit more about the die cuts here in just a minute. All right, and here is our 4 by 4 piece. Now, what I felt like looked the best was to start at least halfway down, maybe just a little bit further than halfway down to tear. And if it makes you nervous trying to figure out how you're going to tear it to that corner, then by all means start at the corner and work your way up. I will tell you that you will want to pull this, like I used my left hand and I pulled it up. It doesn't have to be a perfect rectangle, triangle. It does not have to be perfect. And if you don't get it exactly the way you want it, you can always go back in and re-tear that. But however it comes out, that is going to be your card. Because it's also 4 inches in width, it is going to lay across there just fine. And I think I am going to tear mine just a little bit more, because the piece underneath is, and I'm tearing it the wrong way. See what I did? Kind of wondered if I would do that. Because I tore it the wrong way, you need to up and toward you so that you can see that white layer. So I'm just going to end up tearing off a little bit more. No rhyme, no reason. It's still going to look good. And we're going to glue that down. Yeah, you got a lot of grace, leeway when it comes to hand tearing the paper with this particular layout. Did I get any glue right there? There we go. Got it. And you just want to be careful that you do cover up on the very top and down the very side so that other pattern is not sticking out. And I actually, on the inside of this card, and I know you saw it, I actually took that piece that I tore off and I glued it up on the top of the inside of the card. And I think I will save this and do the same thing again. All right. Got that. I'm going to put that out of the way. Now, what I did, let me close up my glue before it decides that it is going to clog up on me because I don't have a pin in this one. So out of Petunia Pop and out of Bubble Bath and out of Summer Splash, I die cut from the Flowers of Beauty dies, and it is this largest die right here. This die, this is how this is going to look if you use that one. And you could absolutely mix or match. In fact, my card sample that I'm going to show you at the end of this video does incorporate that die cut. I haven't played with every single one of them yet. I will tell you I played with these. And let me just kind of give you a sneak peek here. Somewhere here, if I didn't lose it, there it is. You can, if you want to take the time, you can absolutely layer two colors together. Isn't that cute? I wondered how it would offset, because not always will the dies that we get allow you to do that technique. And these are so tiny. I thought, oh, there's no way they're going to, be offset. But yes, you can. You sure can. All right. So I'm going to put that to the side for the minute because I'm not die cutting. Now, I had started putting Winka Stella. Oh yeah, you'll need a bit of basic white scrap for your sentiment for the outside. I had started putting Winka Stella on there, got interrupted and didn't finish. And I don't know that it's really going to make any difference. But I thought, this time we'll just go ahead and put Winka Stella on all of the die cuts. Now, I'm not going to go all the way down because my sentiment is going to cover up a lot of that at the very bottom. So I'm not even going to bother with the stem part. And of course, this stuff dries so quick. And I don't know if it will make any difference. But I wanted to give everyone a method for having some bling and sparkly cardstock without having to buy all the things. We need alternatives. It is so expensive now to live. Mortgages, rents, food, everything is just gone sky high, guys, and I don't know what the future holds. I just know who holds my future, okay? And with that, I am content. So we're just going to get that on there. Don't worry if it's not totally 100% covered. And that being such a light color, I know you're not going to see that, but it's okay. And yes, I am going to change it up and out of the Bubble Bath, and I keep wanting to call it bubble gum. Doesn't it look like the color of bubble gum? It does. Oh my goodness. There is another company, and I don't remember who it is, that does have a pink ink that is called bubble gum. But right off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you if it was Gina K, Hero Arts, Waffle Flower, I don't know. Honeybee Stamps, I don't know. But anyway, so there we go. Yeah, I had my glue mat handy because your glue mat is good for so much more than just gluing things on. Now I don't have that residue on my grid paper, and it gives my grid paper a little bit more life. See if I can pick all of these up and see if you can see any kind of sparkle in any of it at all. But trust me, it is there. And if you really want to intensify it, you can always put 2, even 3 coats on there. Just, you have that flexibility. All right, so now we've got this, and we need to start layering. And I wanted my darkest color, which is the Summer Splash, to kind of be in the background. And then again, I want my Petunia Pop right about there. It almost gets lost, but not quite. And then in the very front, we are going to put the Bubble Bath. But I think all of these colors go together very well. When it comes to gluing them down, guess what, guys? Just the other day, I found my adhesive sheets. I found them. They had accidentally got in with some retired stuff that I had put together a few months ago. And they were still in boxes because I just haven't had time to do a sale. I'm not selling my retired stuff online yet, but that is going to be a possibility going forward. However, I like to give the women in the card ministry and my local customers first dibs on things that they can buy of mine that are retired. You know, unless you're a demonstrator, you probably are not buying all the things that we are, but I find it just as easy to go ahead and glue things down. And I do want that coming way up there. I'm just going to pat that in place. Okay, and now I'm going to take the petunia pop and just dot it. Mostly, as far as, you know, gluing, you can get away with just gluing like the outer bits that are going to be kind of hanging out there. And yes, I'm using Barely Art glue. Anytime I've got to do, you know, delicate gluing, or I, you know, really want my fine tip glue bottle, I default to that because, see there how I was getting glue on me? I do need a little bit up here. I kind of overlooked that. Okay, and it just doesn't take a whole lot of glue to get that put down. Like that right there. You can stagger them. You can cut them shorter. It is a very flexible set. Now, I'm going to say one thing that's going to sound negative to a lot of people, and I apologize for that. If all you want is the dies, you know, because you honestly, you don't have to have the stamp set to enjoy the die set. You just don't. There may be one or two dies in there that you may feel like you need the stamp set for it. But this stamp set is a little persnickety. If you are not an avid crafter, if you have not been crafting for some time and well-versed and well-skilled in two-step stamping. Now, two-step stamping is not hard in and of itself. However, there are some, I'm putting my lid back on my glue bottle. There are some that are a little bit more challenging than others, and this is one of them. Okay, so here you have your two steps for your foliage. You have your two steps for your flowers, which do coordinate with this. They do. And I will tell you, I ended up going to the catalog and looking at one of the samples because I could not get these to coordinate with this. And so just kind of bear that in mind. About the only thing in the die set that you may not be able to use is that right there. Those for the leaves, it just depends on how you want to work it. But anyway, it's a cute set. I appreciate the fact that these are nice and big, and they really help to fill in the front of a card. And you may disagree with my choice of designer series paper, and that does almost kind of get lost, but in person, not so much. It's very evident. It's just not going to show up well for you on camera, and for that, I'm sorry. All right, we are going to initially bring in my Misty, and probably 2 weeks ago, I did get the Waffle Flower Grip Mat, 6.5 by 8.5, that fits right into my Misty. Oh, do you see the free gift they put on there? It's a little strawberry die with the the little green top. Isn't that sweet? I thought, oh, that was so sweet. I didn't expect that. There are 2 grid sheets that come in there. I've gone ahead and put them in my Misty only because I was so excited to at least use it for something. And so it actually came in handy when I was gluing those together, because your stuff isn't going to move. I've got it upside down, but that's okay. Like, that wasn't going to move, and it was going to allow me to glue down that flower. And let me show you how thick it is. Do you see that? You see how thick that is? And then I did put one of the grid sheets on the back, but honestly, and it's not sticky. Honestly, I've got a little grid right there, which is plenty for me, honestly. But I wanted to get it out and play with it. Now, I bent that up out of place. All right, but it fits perfectly. It covers the whole area in here. It is just so nice. And the Misty uses either the mouse pad, which is a foam pad with a laminate grid on top of it, okay? This is the one, the plain one that comes with it. It's kind of similar to our Stamparatus. When you ordered the Stamparatus, it just came with a piece of plain foam. And if you wanted the deluxe foam mat that had the laminated grid on top, you could order that separately. But with this in here, now I can just take this out. And honestly, I got this to ink blend on so that my cardstock didn't move. So in time, this sweet little jewel is going to get all ink stained, and that I'm okay with that. Now, for the inside of my card, I have this 4 by 5 1/4 basic white. And I'm just going to lay that in there. I am not sure if that's going to be in the middle. Actually, that's going to be about right, and I will still have plenty of room to write my sentiment. And again, that's from that Divinity Designs. I have found the one whom my heart loves, my soul loves. Get it right. And I'm just lightly inking that and lightly pressing, because I've got that thick sticky mat. Oh, I really didn't push hard enough, did I? By all that's right, we normally take out our mats, whether they're foam, sticky mats, whatever they are. We usually take those out. I'm going to ink this up one more time. Am I even in camera? Not totally, kind of, sort of sideways. And I put that dot on my stamp because other stamp companies don't give us labels like Stampin' Up! Does. And so that just lets me know, hey, that's the top of that stamp. But it was so easy to get it lined up. It was so easy to get that lined up. So there is a young couple at church that are going to be getting married in a couple of months. We had the shower for them last Sunday before last, I think. But anyway, yeah, yours truly is late getting her card to them. But they're so sweet. They both come from wonderful families. Just wonderful. Now I'm going to pick this up. I don't know what I did there. If I got that out of kilter, pulling that apart, and now I have an air bubble. I may have an air bubble. But anyway, I'll fix that later. So I'm just going to gently take that off. And for the moment, I did clean that off. We're going to go ahead and glue our inside layers. This is so pretty. And I'm going to tell you something else. The Coastal Cabana color goes very well with that summer splash. Goes very well with it. And it's actually closer in tone. So if you wanted a lighter tone in your card, depending on what you're doing, absolutely. Look at your cardstock colors and your ink colors and see what kind of flexibility might be there that maybe it's not listed on the back of the package, like Coastal Cabana was not listed on the back of the package for one of the colors. Nevertheless, it fits right in, okay? So go by what you know and not necessarily what the packaging tells you. Nope, we don't want that one. We want the card we are working on, and I have lost it. There we go. So we're going to start and put in that 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 piece of Petunia Pop, and get all this layered in here. Now before I put in my white layer, I am going to take and lay that piece of torn paper right on top. Am I in camera? Sort of, kind of. Getting real bad about that, and I don't know why. Okay, and there's a little glue booger or something right there. Okay. And let me take this. Let me play for just a second. Always do dry fits, guys. Always, always. Always do a dry fit and make sure you're good to go, because if you cut something just a little bit short, and I did cut that just a tiny bit short, but it's not enough to worry about. So make sure I got glue on that end, so it's going to hold that tip down. And put this on. All right. So that's lined up. I'm not seeing any white cardstock peek out. And it didn't quite go all the way to the end, but I really don't think that matters. And I thought that was a sweet touch. It's also a way to keep you from wasting even a little scrap of that designer series paper. And if you don't have the designer series paper, then that's just fine. You can always make your own background. You can take those stamps and stamp them down on some white cardstock and make your own. Now, I didn't put that glue on very thick, so I don't have quite the wiggle room I normally would have. The thinner you put down your glue, the faster it's going to grab, take hold, and start to dry. So there is the inside of the card. And now let's get ready and do our outside sentiment. Let me take my little note off of here. And I need to get out the die cut that I'm going to use for my sentiment. Now, let me pass a tip on to you. I made this hard for a long, long time. You know, sometime back, Stampin' Up, when we get these stamps and it's stamped on the inside, let me just take this out. Just slide this out. If you're new to Stampin' Up or you have never seen this, oh my goodness, now I can't get a hold of it. I took a piece of basic gray. Now you could take black, but everything is backwards. Now, for me, once upon a time, that would not have been an issue, but I have learned the simple way. Take some dark cardstock. It doesn't matter what color it is, as long as it's a dark shade. Now look, you can read them. You can turn them right side up, and you can arrange them any way you want to. In fact, what I plan on doing is taking all of my horizontal sentiments and kind of grouping them together. And then, you know, just arranging these here and there however they fit. But now, can you read that on the camera? Can you see what they're saying? So, there is a real quick, easy way. And like I said, I made it hard for a long time. I was taking that insert that came with the stamp set, putting it in my printer, getting on my computer, flipping the image, reprinting it, yada, yada, yada. Well, you don't even have to do that. Just take a piece, and it could be retired cardstock or some old cardstock you don't even remember where it came from because you had it for so long, or it's a color you don't like wild wheat. Anyway, whatever you've got, use that. It will make life so much better. Now, in the Unbounded Love dies. Yep, I did have the right one. So I was playing with all these wonderful sentiment dies. Look at those. And you have extra little sprigs that match what we've just been working with. You have this really pretty one here with the big leaves. You have extra leaves. You have them where they will layer on top of each other, and these two will layer. So I got ready to start cutting them out. And guess what? I thought this one would just cut out a solid, but no, it didn't. It cut out that sweet little, almost lacy outline that would be so cute to layer and glue on top of another one. Isn't that sweet? Or what I could see happening, glue it right down to your cardstock, stamp your sentiment right in there, be done. Isn't that sweet? I thought that was awesome. And of course, this is a scallop, which you saw on my card. Now, this one, which is this die right here, and it puts out those little holes. But the neat thing about when I got done with it, now these are all out of copy paper. If they look real flimsy, that's because they are. But look at that. That came out of that die cut. How sweet. You could absolutely put your sentiment on here, pop it up with dimensionals, and then just have this little frame behind it. How cute is that? Now, this was the center out of this one. It's just a hot mess. Just either save this for an itty-bitty sentiment, like one of those small sentiments in the set. But yeah, I've really had fun playing with these. I've played with them as much as time would allow. Just haven't quite got all the way there yet. Now, somewhere I have my mini-me. Well, and then I close that back up. I need my die out, and I think I'm going to change it up. And I think I want to use this one. If I can get a hold of it. There we go. Yeah, you can't keep a manicure. I can't. I've been digging in them today. And yeah, well, anyway, it's all good. So I've got a scrap here. Have no idea how wide it is. I'm guessing that's about 4 inches. I just pulled it out of my scraps. And tell you what I want to do. Let's go ahead. Before I do that, I'm going to bring my Misty back in. And I'll put my cardstock right down here. And I want to ink up. And which one am I using? May all your wishes come true. We're going to ink that up. Stamp that down. Ever so gently. Ever so gently. Maybe a little more pressure right there. Oh, and that looks really good. I'm not going to have to do it a second time. I am not. Oh, that's awesome. A lot of the times I end up doing it twice because something is a little light. But I guess that ink pad is still juicy enough. I'm going to bring that out. I'm going to bring in my cleaning cloth. I don't ever want to shut the door of my Misty or my Stamparatus that I still have and I still use. And I still love it. It's kind of nice to have 2 of them in case I'm mass producing. And I still have not figured out what I did there. And that's bugging me because it wasn't doing that. And it's not the product. It's something I'm doing. There we go. Now it's laying down. All right. Let's put this to the side and we'll go ahead and die cut. And if you're new to my channel, if you've never watched one of my videos, you'll know that instead of the white platform, and it doesn't matter if you have the white mini-me or the boho blue mini-me, I use that light gray plate. I get good results with die cutting without having to stagger my plates or having to fight it. Ooh, boy, that just is going to go in there. And let me center this because I've not used this die cut yet, so I don't know how it's looking, and I can't do that sideways. I have got to get that kind of in front of me. Kind of center that. Make sure it's straight. And I'm going to tape that down. It's a well-used piece of tape. And just in case it doesn't hold, I'm going to take another one. Put it right up here on this corner. Now I feel like that's going to hold really well. And lay this on there. We'll run this through. Let me get in camera. Am I in camera? Now I am. And honestly, I don't stare at my plates. Whoops. But that paper underneath me is not helping me. It is not my friend right now while I'm trying to die cut. Okay. Guys, I'm going to be putting a link in the description under this video. This link is a very, very special link, and I'm not going to say a whole lot about it other than I'm very excited. It is something I found in the last couple of weeks. Has nothing to do with card making at all. It is not a card making video link. It is not a Christian music video link or any kind of like inspirational in that way. But this link may very well change your life. It may change the life of someone in your family. That's all I'm going to say about it, except to say the video is 3 hours long. You will want to hear everything that is in this video. So, all right. Isn't that pretty? See, I wasn't sure how that was going to look when it cut out. I really like that. That is so pretty. You know what I meant to do? And I'm going to do it. Let me see. Let me bring. I meant to heat emboss it. Oh, boo. I may have to grab another scrap of white. Ooh, that's awfully close. That is so close. I'm not going to have enough room doing it that way. Let me see. If I put it here, will I have enough room? Oh, yes. I can do it. Okay. All right. Real quick, guys. Sorry. I got so excited about telling you about this other video. I may have said things in my videos in the past to let people know. People who know me well in person know that I can't have wheat. I can't eat wheat. It does a real number on me. Truly, it does. I'm not celiac, okay? When I eat wheat, I immediately swell up. Like, it looks like all of a sudden I'm 5 or 6 months pregnant, okay? I don't have any pain, don't have any digestive issues, no diarrhea, no cramps, and none of that. And I realized a few years ago that I was having some issues with wheat. And I started kind of cutting back. But man, guys, it's hard to do without bread. Jesus said he is the bread of life. The ultimate bread of life. And I kept thinking, you know, I know that something that God created would not harm me. Well, a couple of weeks ago, I started finding out why I couldn't have wheat. Been trying to go gluten-free. And guys, y'all know the gluten-free products are insanely expensive. They don't fill you up. They don't enrich you. There's no nutrition in that stuff. All right, I am going to stamp right back over it using Versamark. This is another reason why you want a stamping platform of some kind. There are several good ones out there. You may not want a Misty. You may want something else. Too bad the Stamparatus isn't around because, in my opinion, it was superior to everything out there. But I like the Misty. It's good. It works really well. It truly does. Let me put the lid back on my Versamark. This is a sticky watermark ink. It is clear if you've never done heat embossing. And I forgot to use my anti-static Rabbit Hole Designs powder tool. I love that powder tool. Works better than any powder tool I have ever used. And that is because they use kaolin clay, not cornstarch or whatever talc powders that are in some of these other products. So I just feel like it does a superior job of keeping your embossing powder from sticking where you don't want it to stick. There we go. I'm rubbing my fingers, and I do feel a little bit. Thankfully, this is clear, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. And I don't know how, but I've got little bits of, little specks of stuff in my embossing powder. It hasn't been an issue. Hopefully it won't be an issue, because I would really hate to throw all that out. That stuff is not real cheap. Of course, it lasts you forever, but it's still not real cheap, and still not something I'm willing to just throw in the trash if I do not have to. But guys, there's a reason why our white bread is making us sick. I am going to have to tear this whole thing apart and figure that out. Oh, but I'm so excited to have that. So excited. All right, now I'm going to turn my heat tool on, and I'm going to hold it down and away from me and behind me, pointed away from me, so hopefully it's not too loud in your ears. And then once this is heat set, we will get it die cut, put on the card, and then I can show you the other card. But definitely, guys, check that video link out. Let me tell you, you'll know by going through the channel that this video is in. You'll be able to watch other videos and start getting an education like I am getting. I have actually started ordering some of the things that I need to get this new journey underway. I'm not there yet. My sourdough starter, I finally figured it out. I've got great, wonderful starter. In fact, I have over a quart of it sitting in my fridge. And I'm waiting. I'm just waiting to get some of this stuff that I've ordered. So, all right. That should be good and hot. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that change. But let me tell you something, guys. The testimonials that I'm hearing and have been hearing on the mystery being solved about wheat, I'm excited, and no, I'm not afraid to eat the way we're supposed to be eating. I'm not at all. That doesn't look real shiny right there. So I'm going to just kind of hit that for a few more seconds. Oh yeah, that looks better. That looks better. Now it's raised up and it's shiny. And I'm checking. That looks good. I'll cool that off just a little bit. And I am going to move this paper. I'll save the other sentiment. I can use that elsewhere. In fact, I will put that in my Berry Burst cardstock pack, since that's Berry Burst ink. I'll put that in there. I am going to, my big scissors, I'm going to cut this down a little bit, because see where it bent my cardstock? I mean, like I was really pushing it on my width. And the die is right here. Am I in camera? Almost not. Man, I don't know. I don't know what's going on, that I'm starting to struggle with that like I did way back when I first started doing this. Am I straight? It looks straight. Let me tape that down. But if you have been suffering from a lot of health issues, allergies, Crohn's, warts, well, now what's going on? Did I not put that in there correctly? See what happens. I can't talk and chew gum at the same time, guys. I promise you I can't. There we go. Well, now what's going on? Do I have an extra layer in there I should not have? No, I do not. All right. See, only on a video. Any other time, I could do this and it would be just fine. Maybe I should have tilted it. The die cut, I should have probably tilted it and it would have gone through a lot smoother. But anyway, it's done. It's done. All right. And then I just put my plates back in there and put it to the side. All right. But I'm just so excited. I am so excited. All right, we're going to take this out. That out. And again, look at that. Isn't that sweet? That's so sweet. Very flexible die set. Very much so. And I want to put my die back up. I can throw these away now because I showed them to you and they were just done out of typing paper. Put this up. Bring my card back. I'm going to save that. I don't think I'm going to use that on this card. And let's see. I'm looking at this for the first time and I'm pretty confined to putting that right there. However, I may want to offset that. Do I want to offset that? How does that look? Well, do I want it up higher? Do I want to glue this down and then pop that up on top of it? I don't think I'm going to this time. Don't think I will. I'm just going to go ahead, put some glue on the back of this, get that put down. Yes, you could pop it up with dimensionals. You could. I'm going to offset that just a hair to where it's not just totally in the middle. And I can't tell if I'm straight. Am I straight? Okay. And there's one more thing I think I want to add to this card that I didn't do on my sample card. We have got, it is still available, it's on the clearance rack, sheer ribbon combo pack, and you get your pink, blue, and yellow. I don't remember what colors they were supposed to be. It was $12.50. It has been marked down to $8.75, and you get 3 spools of ribbon. So, I am guessing that this was petal pink, although it looks more like bubble bath to me because petal pink kind of has that peach tone. And we're just going to tie a little bow. I'm going to do it right on the spool and get that tied, get that put on there, and I think that will make a big difference in how this card finishes out. Get that tied down. I'm not good at bows, guys, and I'll just be very honest. I am especially not good at bows when I'm trying to tie them on camera. Probably, let's see, who comes to mind? Jackie Bolheis. She ties hers upside down. I haven't watched her in a long time. Jackie Bolheis, Connie Stewart, maybe. Maybe she's good at it. Don't know. I'm going to cut that kind of long. I may end up trimming some of that off. Lisa Freeman is one that comes to mind. They're really good at tying bows and showing you how to do them right, unlike me. So let me get my glue dots. I didn't have them out. Get these glue dots. And my Tick-Pick tool. Yep, see, my glue dots are where they should be. Because when I get a brand new package of glue dots, I rewind the whole thing. Because I am just not interested in trying to take them off this flimsy, flapping in the breeze piece of paper sticking up there. I'm not. I'm going to put that right there, press that in, make sure that's got good contact. And then I'm going to come back in and trim. And I'm going to trim that right there. And I'll trim that one right about there. That one didn't need as much took off. Okay. Yep, it does need a little bit more took off. I feel like it's kind of sticking out there a little too long. And it is so easy to cut off too much ribbon. So I'm just going to do a little bit. And I think that's a little bit more balanced. But what do you think, guys? We tore it up. We tore it up. I wish mine had been angled a little bit better. My sample card, again, because I was off camera, it has got more of that slanted angle, which was really what I was going for. All right, I promised y'all another sample. And so here we go. See, I'm telling you off camera, I know how to tie a bow. I think it's funny. All right, so one of the other things that is coming out with the new in colors, you know, you've got the cardstock and the inks and ribbons and blings and all that kind of thing, is this in color 2024 to 2026 glimmer paper. Now, I could have, let me see if I can open this without it being too loud in your ears. I should have gone ahead and put this inside a different pocket that didn't have adhesive on it, and I didn't. So, this is the Pretty in Pink, and that is what I used there. However, I could have pulled out that Petunia Pop. If I can find it in here. It's right there. It's fighting me. I could have pulled out the Petunia Pop and used that instead. But I wanted it to kind of stand out a little bit from the background. And I felt like that Pretty in Pink did that, pulled that off very well. I reversed my patterns and I didn't tear it. So if you don't tear that 4x4 piece of Designer Series paper, this is how much you're going to have at the bottom. And then I just took and did a straight stamping with the Berry Burst, You're a True Blessing, because I'm going to use this for a thank you card. And I don't have the inside done yet. But I will finish it off very similar to how I did this, except it's not going to have the torn piece up at the top, and it's not going to have that same sentiment because it's going to be a thank you card. All right, guys, so what do you think? Let me kind of move all this out of the way. Where did I put that paper? Let's put some white paper under here. May help, may not. We're going to try. All right, so here are the two versions. Don't know which one is your favorite. Again, I know you can't see that Wink of Stella on there, but your recipient most surely will. So this was really simple. These die cut like a dream, by the way. Very, very easy. Very easy to get it out of the die. All them little pieces just fall right out. I only had to run it through one time. And so, what do you think, guys? Until we meet again, I hope you guys have a very blessed weekend. If you're having health issues and you're struggling, even if it's just with energy and not feeling good or, you know, mental fog, anything like that, definitely give that video a go. And if you have to stop and start it a few times to get that 3 hours in, you could actually be doing housework or, you know, engage. You don't have to literally just sit and watch the whole video if you don't have time for that. But yeah, I think you might be amazed. Hopefully it will teach you a little bit like it's taught me. It's been a big revelation. And God is good all the time. So until we meet again, guys, be safe, be blessed, and know you are loved. Bye.